lost and confused, Captain Math will help you use manipulative.
Hey everybody, this is Fun with Tab, and today we're going to talk about fractions. Now, you're probably wondering, that's Captain Math's job. Well, Captain Math deserves to have a vacation too, so he is enjoying himself on the beach. So let's let Captain Math have a nice vacation. When he comes back, he's going to continue doing what he loves to do, which is to teach math. I can do it too, but he's the expert. So he left me his lesson plans on fractions. And so we're going to learn about fractions. So let's get started to learn about fractions. I wonder who this is. It's Captain Math. Hey, Captain Math, how you doing?
Hello, Bubba Tebron. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm here teaching the lesson plans that you left behind on fractions, and the viewers out there waiting for me to teach the fractions. So, but before we do that, say hello to all the viewers out there.
Hello, everybody. How are you today?
Captain Math said hello. He's enjoying himself on the beach. So.
Oh, yes, I am. I'm having a great time.
Oh, you are? Man,
Yes.
I wish I was there. What's the temperature there?
Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's 85 degrees right now. That's comfortable.
Where we are, it is snowing real bad.
Oh, well, I'll bring you back some sunshine.
Okay. Well, enjoy yourself.
I sure will. And enjoy and teach.
Okay, we will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow, that was Captain Math. He's enjoying himself. And as you can see, he's enjoying himself. It's 85 degrees down there. Oh, wish it was 85 degrees up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a fraction on the board. And I'm going to ask you a question. So let me draw the fraction. What fraction is this? Now, the reason why I asked that question is because even teaching fractions has changed. Way back in the day, when I was a little kid, and Captain Math and Mama Wiggles, we learned that when a teacher taught and asked that question, what fraction is this, we knew that it was 1/4. Why? Because back then they taught fractions differently. We knew that they were talking about what was shaded. We knew we only looked at the one part that was shaded in this case, which was 1/4. Today we can no longer say what is this fraction. We have to identify the shaded from the unshaded. So today's math teachers should be asking what fraction is shaded. And that will help the students to identify and only look at the shaded fraction. Today, I've learned something from today's math teachers, and as well, Captain Math. We can no longer say, what is this fraction? We have to say, what fraction is shaded? So, what fraction is shaded? 1/4. Now, you can ask another question. What fraction is unshaded? That would be 3/4. And that makes sense because now we are identifying the shaded and the unshaded. Whereas in the past, we was always looking at the shaded. So even teaching fractions today has changed. So in this episode, we're going to identify the fraction and look at the shaded and unshaded. So we see 3/4 unshaded because there's 3 of them that's not shaded and there's 4 equal parts. And then we know 1/4 is shaded. One of the 4 is shaded. That's why the 1 is there. So this is the correct way of teaching fractions to students that are learning fractions for the first time. We must say shaded and unshaded. Okay? Let's look at another example. I like to use rectangles and squares because I can draw them very nicely. So let's use a little green. So here's another example of a fraction. Now I'm gonna see if you understood what I said earlier. What fraction is this? That's right. You don't know. Because what? I didn't specify or identify the shaded from the unshaded. Very good. You're catching on. So I'm going to ask the question again. What fraction is unshaded? Okay, let's look. We're only looking at the unshaded parts, and that will identify the fraction that is unshaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of them are unshaded, and it's cut into 8 equal parts. So 5/8 of them are unshaded. What fraction of them are shaded? 1, 2, 3. 3/8 of them are shaded. And so, according to Captain Math, if we add the shaded and the unshaded, it should equal 1 whole. So let's see if that's true. If we did it right, we answered the unshaded correctly and we answered the shaded correctly. Because when we add those two together, it should be equal to 1 whole. In fact, I'm going to write the formula. Shaded plus unshaded should equal 1 whole. The whole thing is shaded. Okay? So let's see if that's true. The shaded was how much? 3/8. So 3/8 plus, what was the unshaded? 5/8 should equal 1 whole. So when the denominators are the same, all we gotta do is add the numerators. So 3 plus 5 is 8. So 8/8 is the same as 1 whole. So not only do the formula work, the shaded and the unshaded fraction is also correct. Because if the shaded and unshaded did not add up to 1 whole, then that means we did something wrong to identify the shaded and the unshaded. Do you understand? Wow. look at how much teaching fractions has changed over the years. So I'm going to give you 2 fractions to do for homework. It's a challenge time homework. I'm going to give you 2 fractions, and for both of them I want you to identify the shaded fraction and the unshaded fraction, and I want you to add them together to see if it equals 1 whole. So let me erase this, put a little squiggly line right there to separate them. Here's the first fraction. We use a circle this time. And for number 2, I'm going to use a rectangle. And the directions are, I want you to identify the shaded and the unshaded. I'm going to use a blue for this one. And I'm going to use a red for this one. So, I want you to identify the shaded fraction and the unshaded fraction. And I want you to add them up to see if it equals 1 whole. If it does, then that means you got the shaded fraction correct and the unshaded fraction correct. So, can you do it? I know you can, because I'm doing it the way Captain Math has taught me how to teach it to you. So I know you can do it, and so please let me know if you understand shaded and unshaded fractions. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please share and subscribe, where learning can be meaningful and fun. And I want to thank Captain Math for teaching me fractions the way it should be taught. Thank you, Captain Math. I've learned a lot from you. And so, see you next time.